let me do a video, but let's see. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We're having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget and subscribe. Don't forget we have the podcast, we have the books, we have all the things. So good morning, good morning, good morning. So I hope you had a great weekend. And I hope you're ready to get this morning started. Good morning, Cree. How you feeling, friend? Hope you're feeling good and fabulous and ready to start the day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's go right into it because I want to talk about some things and I don't want to hold you up this morning because we know I can get to talking. That's never been my problem. It's talking. So let's talk about knowing your stuff. So, good morning, Miss Woodard. How you doing? So let's talk about knowing your stuff. And I'm putting this in the context of um, all the things that we've been talking about, the I am statement and all the things. And if y'all are been a part of Phyllis Month, we're coming on year. And part of part of it was there's 5 keys to live past crazy. And and of course, one is to be quiet. But eventually we get to the step where we need to wallow in something. I mean, we need to sit with it. We need to feel it. We need to understand it. Girl, I am most amazing. Thank you for asking. So when it comes to knowing your stuff, and I want to give you an example because I'm always ever learning. Um, that was your blessing, honey, because we got all the things. We're doing the most amazing. I'm glad everything went well. Good. I know, Miss Janice. I can't get my camera to work for some reason. It doesn't like me, and so I've been trying. So if I click the camera, and so I'm working on it. I'm working on that part. Good morning. So as we're going through these things, right? As we are understanding them, as we are doing all the things, let's. I want us to talk. Boop, 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 boop. I want to use me, confessions and conversations, as an example. Okay, when I say know your stuff and wallow in it. Oh, thank you, uh, Janice. When I say wallow in it, I need you to know, like you know, like you know. But even me, who I know, like I know, like I know, there are times, and so this happened a couple of days ago, and this is why I want to talk about this. Know your stuff. I was talking to somebody, and they got me so discombobulated because I found myself getting angry, and I found myself getting mad about my healing process, how I healed, what I'd healed from, and how it worked, and how I lived my life past that healing. And as I began to articulate it, right, all the things, as I began to articulate it, they kept cutting me off and they wouldn't let me finish, which made me angrier. Which, because I was getting angrier, I was losing my thought process, and I was getting into something that I didn't need to. So at the end of the conversation, I felt so discombobulated. One, that I was sucked into that. Two, that I allowed it to happen. But three, in a moment of time, and I would say a good 2 hours, I was so discombobulated and angry and frustrated. It made me question if I had healed from a thing, if I had moved past a thing. And I was sitting over here thinking, wow, maybe I didn't. I'm going back through journals, y'all. I was like, I could have swore, I journaled that. I'm going through my mind, and I thought, damn, I thought I healed past that. And shit, I thought I was better than that. And I was, and I did. Some people, and this is not everybody, I'm saying some people, in the cutting of you off, meaning they're not allowing you to fully articulate and honor what you're saying by listening, it can frustrate you and it can make you feel angry. For me, let's take it a step further and root it back to my first husband, who I had no voice, and he beat the hell out of me for every day. Had no voice. We stayed locked up in a room for 2 years. We weren't allowed to talk to our family for 2 years. We didn't see them for 2 years. So I jumped from that all the way back to here. And as I jumped back there, it made me question all the healing I had done up until this point. Now, we will always have triggers. We will move past them. That's okay. But I need you to understand that the knowing of your stuff will make you understand to never question your healing again. We don't question that. We don't question the journey that we took to get to that healing, and we do not question where we are in our healing. And if you have moved past a thing, just because you had a trigger about it, does not mean you haven't moved past it. Okay? It may be a reminder to say, oh shit, I forgot I lived through that. I forgot I lived past crazy in that. And just because somebody's bringing something to you doesn't mean you need to receive it. And so I received it, and then I was mad because I received it and it resided in me, and then I got angry. Y'all, I had to take the symbolic shower where I washed the words off of me. I had to sage. I had to go stand outside. I had to do all the things because I received something that was not mine, which made me question my healing. Come on, Janice. And so because it made me question my healing, it made me think I didn't know anything. And it made me think, well, damn, JoJo, ain't you the Live Past Crazy specialist? Mm-hmm. Don't you share how to live past crazy? Yeah. Well, are these people getting anything from you if you're still living like this? Yes, they are. You have healed past it. Just because they brought it to you doesn't mean you have to receive it. Just because it's a trigger in that moment doesn't mean you haven't healed past it. Some people will never understand the triggers. They will never understand the history. So they cannot understand the healing. I can't tell you what it feels like to be locked in a room for 2 years, allowed to eat once a day, go to the bathroom once a day. I can't tell you how that feels. That's something you have to experience. I can't tell you what happens in my mind in those times. That's something you have to experience. But because I experienced it, and please read the book, The Body Keeps Score, and I've worked really hard to have healing markers in my body and to move past that, it doesn't mean that when somebody or a person, place, a thing reminds me of it, that deja vu moment, like I've been here before. I know this thought, and it takes me back there. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to acknowledge that I recognize some signs. In me recognizing some signs, I know my stuff. I know that I've healed past that. I know I don't have to receive what you give me. Now listen, until we get to that good part of knowing our stuff, well, what happened is we will begin to hustle our story. We're going to stand outside of it and hustle our worthiness. And you will find yourself over explaining something you've healed from. No, I'm not that way. I healed from that. Let me show you. Let me tell you. And they will continue to cut you off, and you'll continue to argue about your healing. My healing is not up for debate. I like that. Let's write that down. My healing is not up for debate. Just because it looks different than your process does not take away my process. Okay? So my healing worked for me. It has worked for me. I walk in that and I lived in that. Now, when we know our stuff, when we know that we know that we know, I don't have to receive that. I don't have to receive it. Now, if in the heat of the moment I'm arguing and I'm trying to hustle my worthiness and I receive that thing, I receive, oh, well, Jojo, you haven't healed. Well, this and this and this, and you receive that. Okay. It's going to go find that trauma marker that you thought you healed. It's going to go find that reminder. And you may have had 17 years of healing markers in place. And it's going to go find that trauma one and be like, this looks familiar. And then in that instance, friend, you got to stop it. And say, it may look familiar, but it does not live here. It doesn't. It doesn't live here. And because it doesn't live here, I am allowing you to leave. I'm kicking you out. This is not your place. You can't dwell here. These thoughts can't live here because this is the house of abundance. This is a house of healing. And only healing and abundant things can live here, whether somebody understands that or not. Y'all with me? So you need to know your stuff. Know that your healing, thank you for typing it, Miss Woodard. Know that your healing is not up for debate. It's not. You have lived past crazy. I need you to stand with your shoulders back, head up, chin up, chest out, and say all the damn things. I have healed past this thing. I don't want what you gave me. I don't need it. It doesn't reside here. And I wanted to share that with y'all today because if you are like me and you know what you know, but you may have that moment of, but do I really know it? And at that moment, somebody comes along to make you question what you know. Friend, and then it's that moment that you stand so deep in that I am statement. I am healed. I am this. I am whole. I am. And as you stand deep in that, we don't apologize for it. We don't change it. We don't wrap it around anything else. We don't over explain it. So on this great, most amazing day. And it's going to be a good day. It's going to be the most amazing day ever. Yes, Miss Woodard, we have healed past this. We have healed past this thing. So listen, I don't associate with being a survivor of domestic violence anymore. I don't associate with that because we're over here thriving and living. Period. And when I have that deja vu moment that says, oh, I feel like I know this tactic. I feel like I know these statements from somewhere. I can use them as a reference to my healing. I can use them as a reference to move forward. I can use them as a reference of what I have healed past that no longer resides here. So listen, explaining your healing, understanding your healing, be careful who you share that with. Your healing is for you, right? You can't explain sometimes to everybody how you've healed in your healing journey. It's not for them to understand. You have to be okay that they may not understand your healing journey. You have to be okay that they may not understand how you go out into the world and face it, because they have their own healing journey. We are all meeting each other on this healing journey somewhere, somehow. We're all meeting each other along the way. My healing is not up for debate. Period. I encourage you to read that book, The Body Keeps Score. That is a really good book. And it talks about the things that we hold on to, the things that we let go of, and how they show back up in our body and our mindset. So on this great, most amazing day, and it's going to be a good thing. It's okay if you find yourself getting angry because someone has bought you something that you don't want, and in you trying to articulate your healing or articulate your point of view, even if you get discombobulated, it's okay, friend. It doesn't take away your healing. It doesn't. You still know what the hell you know. You still know your shit. You still know it. If you find yourself in that space, I encourage you today, and I'm JoJo from North Carolina. I encourage you today to take a breather. Take a deep breath. Go stand outside with no shoes on. Okay, if it's just cold outside, all right. But go stand outside and take some deep breaths. Go stand by the water and put all of your cares on the water. Speak them out loud so that they can be carried away with the water, because they're not coming back. A wave that leaves never comes back the same. It brings something new every single time. If you can't get near the water, honey, the shower is the most amazing place ever. So when you get in that shower this morning or this evening and you allow the water to run over you, in your mind, you are visualizing those words that you're no longer carrying coming off of your shoulders. They're literally rolling off your back, off your fingertips, and down the drain, because they no longer serve you. You know your healing. You know what you healed past, what you've healed from. You understand that you've healed past that thing, and you know that your healing is not up for debate. And then forgive yourself that if in that moment you got angry, you got frustrated, you got discombobulated, because it was so. Sometimes our healing process, it is such a beautiful thing to us, and we want to share it with other people, but when it's met with anger and frustration and not knowing, it can make us want to scream out our healing, and we don't have to. We don't have to. Because what is healing, what looks like healing to you, could look like a beginning session for somebody else. That's okay. We're all on this healing journey together. Now, if this person is just beginning and you're down here, that's your decision whether you want to continue to walk with them in their healing. You're free to go and find somebody who's healing at the pace that you are, or however you see fit. Right, Miss Wood, the shower is my, and y'all know why the shower is my sacred space. Thank you, Miss Wood, for sharing that. It is because when I was with my ex-abuser, the shower was the only place he did not dictate. He dictated how I used the bathroom. He dictated how I sat on the toilet. He dictated everything but me taking a bath. And it was in the shower that I kept my sanity. It was there. that I chanted to myself in the shower. I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. And that's what I said to myself in the shower for 2 years. That kept me sane. That I knew. That nobody could take from me. My healing is not up for debate. And so then I got angry again because I said, how dare somebody question my healing when they've never been locked in a room for 2 years? They don't know what it's like to have one meal a day and be pregnant, have one meal a day and be starving. They have no idea what it's like to have your head slammed into a concrete wall. They don't know what it's like to sit in a room with a man who makes you stare them in the eyes for 8 hours. And for those 8 hours, they call you every name under the sun until you can recite it back to them. And they want you to believe it. They have no idea. And because they have no idea, you cannot explain that to them. You can't. They won't understand because they will want to relate it to themselves. I could never. It couldn't have been me. You're right. It wasn't. It was never you. It couldn't have been you. It's my healing story. And because I've healed from it, I know it. And because I know what I've healed from, I know how far I've come. It may not look like your healing journey, but it is my healing journey. Never downplay or negate your healing journey. It is yours. Whether it looks like mine or not, honey, you don't have to have an abusive ex-husband. It could have been your sister. It could have been your family and your friends. It could have been your sisters that I didn't quite fit in with any of my sisters. I didn't. I loved them and I wanted to fit in so desperately, but I was so different. And in their own way, they treated me different. It could be that. It could be your family. It could be your career. It could be your man. It could be your side piece, your boo thing. It could be whatever. But you do not negate your healing. You have healed and lived past that thing. And you need to honor that. So on this great, most amazing day, I don't know who that was for today. That was surely not what I planned on talking about this morning. So I hope it was for somebody. If it was, please, you don't even have to let me know. If it was for you, I'm so thankful that I was able to help you out this morning. If it's not, please leave it for somebody else. Thank you, Miss Janice. Honey. So our healing is not up for the debate. It's not. You know your stuff. You do. You know it like the back of your hand. Today, I just encourage you to stand firmly more in that I am statement. I am healed. I am whole. I am. And as you create that mold, you fill it with all the love and adoration of yourself that you got. And if you don't have it, I do have a book of affirmations. You can go grab. These are affirmations I have used over the years. They are mine. Some of them are my own quotes. Some of them are quotes from other places. Honey, take what you need and leave the rest for somebody else. So on this great day, thank you, Miss Woodard. I will have the day I deserve. A to the man. A to the man. I like that. So on this most amazing day, please be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that, okay? There's nothing after it. I promise you. Nothing. Stand in your healing story, friend. Bask in it, honey. The sun is coming up. Go stand. And I used to do this every morning after the morning show. Last year, I would go. I would do this before I got ready for my walk. I would go stand outside in the sun on the side of my porch. And I would just stand there with my eyes closed and allow the sun to shine on my face. And I would stand there until myself said, that's enough. I would come back in and I go do my 3-mile walk and I come back. Go allow the sun to shine on you today. It's there for a reason. So on this great, most amazing day, please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Your healing is not up for debate today. Know your stuff. All right, guys. I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.